Mark Serrano joins us now to share his story. He's a crisis PR expert and a survivor's advocate.
If you take a look at Jerry Sandusky, I will guarantee you that he created in 1977 the Second Mile Charity so that he could have access to his victims. He retired in 1999 instead of going on to another university because he ended his career in football because he had another career, and it was as a child molester. And that is what is so insidious about the university being informed about these crimes in 1998, in 2001, and covering it up. And we now see, and we're going to see more in the testimony, that university officials are the co-conspirators for Jerry Sandusky. And that's why you see a university who is in a public relations disaster and why they can't get out of it. And I'm in public relations, and I advise my clients to look ahead towards potential disasters before they come. And in this case, the university knew that the grand jury presentment was coming out in November, and they didn't even prepare for that. They didn't plan for speaking to the community and rallying behind the victims who've had the courage to come forward. And that's why they are still stuck in a complete public relations disaster, and I would be advising them completely differently. They should be acknowledging fully what was known and when it was known. They should be opening up their doors for victims to come forward, because let me tell you, there are many, many more, as we discovered in my own case.
But I'm going to tell you about Mark, I'm going to tell you about the problem with that, and I'm going to be a complete cynic, but I know this from practicing law for a long time. If they admit, let's say there was a conspiracy and they admit that and they open their doors, you know what also they're opening their doors to? Lawsuits. Tons and tons of lawsuits. So on that basis, and again, I hate to bring that up. I do, but
let me tell you,
it's a big organization. What should they do based on that?
This is a conversation that takes place in a lot of large organizations where the lawyer is on one side of the table and the public relations executive is on the other side of the table. And often lawyers win those arguments, as you're indicating. But guess what? Those lawsuits are coming no matter what they do. And so if they're going to get past this and start to rebuild trust, they can acknowledge that a disaster took place under the watch of senior executives of the university, because those lawsuits are coming anyway. They're going to be settling in the millions and millions of dollars because lives were damaged. And here's why, Ryan. What's critical is they could have prevented so many more victims being created. If they had properly gone to state authorities in 98 or 2001, the victims who Sandusky gained access to and raped in 2002 and 03 and 04 and 05 would never have been victimized. That is what's so damaging about this, is if they had acted properly in the first place, there wouldn't have been more victims. And so, yes, I understand the lawyer's perspective, but the public relations executive says, look, there's so much already out that's incontrovertible. Let's accept that and let's acknowledge it so that way we can start to rebuild trust even with our own campus community.
When we come back, we'll have more on the Jerry Sandusky trial going on as we speak. We'll have an update coming up.